Bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. I'm gonna guess you're a man because men have this thing where they do a lot of misogynistic harm. Not necessarily on an individual level, but as a collective. And then they have a historical amnesia, right? And so they believe that, oh no, like everything's being fine. We've never done anything to harm women, which is fucking bullshit. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you is this policies, name some of them. I want you to name some of them because the last time I checked, the school system was never created with women in mind. Most women weren't allowed into higher education for generations after universities were established. Literally. So what policies are you referring to? Because if anything changed, it wasn't because, it was an equal playing field and they wanted to boost women up. If anything changed, it's probably, and I'm saying probably because I'm believing you here that something like that happened. It's probably because, again, the system was never created with women in mind. So it was not a cohesive and effective environment for women to thrive. It's just the way right now, you may or may not know about this, but in car crashes, women are more likely to die. And that's because when cars were being created and the safety mechanisms were being created and the seat belts and the chairs, etc., it wasn't assumed that women will be driving. And everything was created with the body of a man in mind. Even the models, the test dummies, every single thing had male proportions. And so till today, that hasn't changed. And more women die in car crashes than men. So imagine that car manufacturing companies start to take this seriously and they start to change the safety mechanisms and they start to make the testing and the experimentation and the new standards and guidelines for the safety mechanisms of cars. Imagine they start to change that to make it more inclusive and protective for women. Right? So imagine they start doing that today and then suddenly 150 years later, some man comes out and says, oh yeah, women were always worse drivers than men. That's why car manufacturing companies had to change things around because they were so bad and they wanted to make it good. That's what you sound like right now when you're saying, schooling system was changed because women were falling behind and then, it was created, new things were created so that it would suit them. You're forgetting that it was never created for them in mind. And so it was inherently harmful by the time they got in, because it was only created to suit one sex, one gender, and that gender/sex was not women. If anything changed along the line, it was probably to make things more level-filled. And schooling aside, by the way, because I said for centuries and thousands of years, society and men conspired to keep women behind, and for some reason, you just picked school. But no, we're talking about everything. For the longest time in the world, men created and upheld exclusionary laws that blocked women from owning property, denied them access to fair wages, prevented them from opening bank accounts, restricted access to credit, which means, again, you can't get loans, you can't buy property, you can't start businesses, even erase their legal identity. Why do you think women drop their names when they get married? I mean, nowadays they do it by choice, but that's because in the 19th century, a law came in and you had to do that because the law refused to see women as human beings. And so once you got married, you got seen as the property of a man, and then you had to change your name. Similar to how when slaves were brought to the United States, they would have to take on the surname of their masters. All of this is society functioning to keep women behind and have women kind of fall behind men. And no one's complained for the longest of time. Obviously, feminism has come in and people have started to campaign for social justice. And it's only now, in the last couple of generations, that women have been legally allowed to compete on a similar, not even level playing field, because we're not there yet. We're not even there yet, and we're already outpacing men. And that's because when the barriers for women rise, when the playing field is level, women rise and women win. And for the longest of time, no one has given a shit about that. Why are we only seeing headlines when women are starting to do well? You can simply say women are outpacing men. You can simply say women are thriving, but no, you have to, they're phrasing it men are falling behind or men are being left behind. But then that's what y'all have been doing to women forever, and you didn't give a shit because, again, we live in a misogynistic and patriarchal world that believes women should fall and be behind men. So obviously, all the years and centuries and thousands of however long that has been happening because of man-made laws, it was never newsworthy because that's what you thought women should do. That's what you thought their place was. Society has never been neutral. It has always been designed to make sure women stay behind. That's the historical baseline. And I just really, 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 really hate it when people pop up and act like that's never been the case and everything is being fine.